Pittsburgh I have not seen in like 7 years.
Just out of the blue?
Well, no, she called me
Oh.
about this was an unplanned trip,
Oh, I
really.
got you.
She had called and said, we've got a house at Garden City, and
I got you.
her son, who went to school with Brandon, was coming in from Colorado, and we just said, we'll make it happen.
That's nice.
So,
We're live.
okay. Well, at this point, we don't have quorum. Oh, we're good. Oh, okay. Hello. I think there are more of us than there isn't. All right, at this time, I will call to order the Planning Commission meeting for the City of Travelers Rest. It is July 27th, and we will have a call to order starting, or a roll call, starting to our right.
Tony Rackley.
Evan Cantrell.
Michelle Garrison.
Rebecca Cooper. Thank you. We have our minutes from our previous meeting, which was June 29th. At this time, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes from June 29th?
Motion to approve minutes.
And is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by the right hand. Opposed, like sign. Thank you. Our only thing on the, we have the 5-year comprehensive plan review, and I will turn it over to our planner, Mr. Foreman.
Thank you.
Ask a quick question. The QR code that we have posted out there, we're still active on that?
It is, yep. We will, I'll give an update on that here in a minute.
Okay.
But yes, we do, it is active, and we had 128 that we last
Oh, good.
check. So hopefully, we got the signs out, so hopefully those will.
Well, I was going to say, maybe all of us should take a little snapshot and share that, get a little more information, a little more input back there, so.
Yes, definitely. Please take the survey if you either online watching this or if you're in the room now, if you haven't already. We would love to hear from everybody that's in the city. So today we will be discussing the the next 3 chapters of the comprehensive plan review. If you remember, last month we did housing and population. This month we'll be looking at natural resources, cultural resources, and community facilities. And just to give you kind of just another update of the schedule itself. So we hope to have Planning Commission review through October of this year, and then City Council will have first reading and committee in November, and then final reading in December hopefully to update this review that we're undertaking currently. So jumping in, the first of the 3 that we'll be reviewing today is natural resources. And as you know, I mean, as you can kind of guess, natural resources hasn't changed much since 2018. It's more of a snapshot of the conditions that we see today. But we did do a few things, so I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the progress that we have made from the recommendations that were made in the 2018 comp plan. The first one is the creation of GreenLink routes and the use of alternative transportation and carpooling to minimize air pollution. So the thing that I want to focus on is the alternative transportation, and we'll be talking about this a little more in community facilities, but that's in progress. As you know, multi-use trails are big here in the upstate, especially here in the city, with the Swamp Rabbit Trail that runs straight through the city. But on top of the Swamp Rabbit Trail, the city development and the city have partnered to build about almost 5,000 feet of new multi-use trails since the comp plan was adopted back in 2018. So that's about a mile. That's great. Most
Does
of
that
those
include the development to the YMCA?
No, that is so the next sentence there, 12,000 feet planned. So that'll include the YMCA and Poinsett. So that 12,000 feet is those two projects which are planned to be constructed in the next 12 months. We got an update. Just as an aside, we did get an update today on the North Poinsett project, and we're looking to get the RFP out here in the next month or so. So we should have. The hope is to have construction starting by the end of this year, and then we could have construction finished up and landscaping installed by May of next year. So
I did have a conversation with Marilyn from Foothills Family Resources. I cannot think of her last name right now. And the Foothills Family Resources has been part of a plan with the county on Green Links to establish some public transportation to
Yes.
this area. I think she was going to try to meet with the city about just some general support in the way of, we think this is a good thing and
Yes.
such. Really excited to hear that. So it would be not a full bus route, but a couple of stops in the morning, a couple of stops in the afternoon. So people would be able to get from Marietta to here, to Cherrydale, to be able to make those connections. And that's probably the most positive development
Yes.
to get to that point in 28 years that I know of. We've had good things, and they get good people with good ideas, and then they get recruited elsewhere, and it never comes to fruition.
That's right.
This
Yep.
one seems a bit more promising than what I've known of in the past.
It does,
So
yes,
I think
ma'am, and we've
really
had some
exciting.
preliminary discussions as well about that, trying to figure out what stops would work best within the city. So we thinking maybe Walmart would be an option, as well as either Row or something like that. So, yeah, those conversations are ongoing.
Currently, it's just to Furman, correct?
Correct, Greenlink terminates at Furman.
Wouldn't this
For the city hall, that would definitely be a possibility, sure. If they're coming down, they would come down 276. We were thinking to either get them down Road to Walmart and then down 25, or come down 25 to Walmart and then Road to here, and then down to Furman. So there's a couple different
The program
options.
they're looking at is not a full big bus.
Correct.
And it would be and I don't remember exactly all the details from Marilyn but she would be responsible for hiring drivers under the Foothills Family Partnership program. So it's much more developed than it ever has been.
Yes, it's
a good
definitely
thing.
positive momentum on that end. So as I mentioned, about 5,000 feet of multi-use trails have been built. Most of those are on Row Road and going into the new Pinestone community. And then, as I mentioned, the 12,000 feet planned over the next 12 months to be built. Minimizing deforestation, the creation of subdivisions and neighborhoods was the next recommendation. And that is still in progress, although we've made, in my opinion, pretty good progress on that, as the tree protection ordinance that was passed last year was adopted in March of '22. That ordinance created a tree mitigation fund, which is utilized specifically for the planting and maintenance of new trees within the city. So you could see immediately the fruits of this ordinance out at the new playground, the new trees that were planted, the 11 trees that were planted out there, and they're fully mature trees. So it's not like they're being planted as saplings and we have to wait 30 years for its shade. I mean, they're fully grown trees that are out there now, providing shade for the families that utilize that park or that playground. So it's an exciting program that we have here. Correct. They were planted with the funds from this program. Yes, ma'am. Yep. And then the third recommendation, through special attention and coordination to protect the rare natural resources within the county as well as within the city when considering developments along the Enoree River. So the county and the county adopted the Bunch Arrowhead Ordinance, which back in 2018, I believe, maybe 19. I don't have it offhand. I don't remember offhand. Around that time. So basically, all developments in the city of Travelers Rest and out 5 miles within the city of Travelers, or around the city of Travelers Rest, must do a Bunched Arrowhead survey as part of their developments. So that's huge. We actually have a development in the city that as part of their survey found the Bunch Arrowhead up off of Gateway, or at Gateway Village up off of Hawkins. So they're taking special care to make sure that they don't disturb that
We had that
that area.
last year, I guess, wasn't that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that came before y'all, I believe, in late 2021.
Yep,
Before I
that's
got
right.
here, but yep. So they're actually, they just put the roads down for that property recently. So it's moving along. Okay, moving forward, cultural resources considers historic buildings and structures, commercial districts, residential districts, and the like. The recommendations made in 2018 for cultural resources: one, to enhance public awareness about the importance of preserving historical resources. As you all know, the city is working with the TR Historic Society on renovations and improvements to the Spring Park Inn, so that's an ongoing project. Number 2, develop an indoor entertainment venue. While we don't have anything concrete, we're always listening and working with developers to consider TR for indoor entertainment venues. So, as soon as we hear something, we'll obviously pass that news on. Number 3, continue to provide opportunities for cultural events at Trailblazer Park. That's in progress. The city recently completely revised and streamlined the special events process, which has paid immediate dividends. It's a much more streamlined process now. And Beth and I are the ones that are the main point persons on that. But Beth does an amazing job just making sure that the marketing strategy and that Trailblazer Park is marketed correctly, and there's a real solid program there that she heads up. And like I mentioned, Trailblazer Park is utilized nearly daily for a multitude of different cultural and civic programs, everything from the farmers market to the amphitheater being utilized for the shows. It really is a vibrant place right outside our door here. Number 4, partner with Furman University on artist and residency programs and opportunities. Again, this is like the indoor entertainment venue. We don't have anything concrete at this point, but we have been in contact with Furman about regarding the opportunity to partner with them on a few different things. And then number 5, developing a marketing strategy for the city's cultural assets and events. And again, this is in progress. And again, this is where Beth fills in. She was hired full-time, I think a little bit before I started, or right around when I started, back in January of 2022, to reshape the city's online and in-person marketing strategy. So you've probably noticed all the changes that have occurred in the last year and a half since she's been here. So again, she's doing a great job on that end.
Is this space in here being utilized for any events or? Yes.
This particular, yes, at least one that I'm aware, that I know of, and that was for the South Carolina APA, American Planning Association conference we had here in the spring.
I know when this property was designed, this was intended to be a space, at that time, was intended to be a space that could create some revenue stream.
Yes.
For events and such, but I had sensed that it wasn't really being promoted for this particular space that much. But
That's right. Yeah, I don't think we've promoted the indoor spaces as much as the outdoor, the amphitheater and the pavilion. We're sort of the centerpieces of the marketing campaign at this point. But this space is available for certain.
and then
certain
the
things.
community room in the fire department
Yes, ma'am.
as well.
That's right. Okay, moving on. Community facilities. This is where you'll see a little bit more update, and that map might be a little difficult to see. Let me see if I can. This was put together by Haley. I don't know if you can you all see that?
Much better.
Yep, so this is our community facilities, and this is not a whole lot different than it was in 2018, but there are some notable additions, maybe not additions, but changes, in that, we have the City Hall there. I think City Hall was just in the process of being built and opened when the comp plan was approved, so this is obviously showing the existing facility. The new fire department, which was opened at that point, opened in 2015, I believe. The new police department, which is adjacent to City Hall. Trailblazer Park, which we've mentioned, which has the new playground. The farmers market and amphitheater is shown there towards the south. And then the schools as well. We've got Travelers Rest High School, which has not moved since 2018. We have Gateway Park. The library, Gateway Elementary, which is obviously just the front portion of this large piece of property. And then North Prisma, Greenville North Prisma, which recently just opened, or reopened, I should say. So
I have a great opportunity there. If they could get past using it for storage. There's a half-court gym there.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing a little bit of work out there. They're putting in some new facilities and doing some work out there. So hopefully they'll be able to utilize the entire building or a little bit more of the property moving forward. Some key changes that were, and I mentioned a lot of these key changes since the 2018 plan was adopted. Sewer, that's probably the biggest one for us. Metro Connects took over the City of Travelers Rest sewer system earlier this year. However, the city still works closely with Metro to make sure that any new requests are reviewed, not only by us,
Metro
but
Connects, is that REWA or totally separate?
they're totally separate.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So they're the collection agency for REWA. REWA handles the
Okay.
large trunk
Yeah.
lines, and then
Yeah.
Metro handles the connections to the trunk lines. Solid waste. Greater Greenville Sanitation ceased their recycling services earlier this year, or recently, for city residents. However, city residents can still utilize can now utilize Evergreen Environmental for their recycling services, and they can continue to use the 3 recycling centers that are within the city limits or near city limits, and they're listed here. Public safety, we obviously have a new chief since 2018. Chief Ford started in 2019. And then recreation, as I mentioned earlier, the new playground that was opened in 2023 at Trailblazer Park. I don't know if you all have been out there, but it's constantly filled, full.
Super nice.
And even when it's 95 degrees out, there's still kids out there utilizing the park with families. So it's already, in my opinion, a wonderful addition to the city. And there are plans to expand it a little bit. So that'll be coming hopefully here in the next little bit.
What are the plans or currently going on with Gateway Park?
Okay, so the county, I think, eventually wants to turn it over to the city along with some other properties that they own, recreation properties mostly around Trailblazer Park. But I think they're still working through the details on how exactly that's going to work and who's going to maintain it and pay for all the updates that are sorely needed at Gateway.
I'm hearing rumor about a skate park. Is that just a rumor? Is that a positive rumor?
It is more than a rumor. The RFP was put out last month to build a skate park, or to at least do the master planning for a skate park in this small ribbon of property that is along the Swamp Rabbit that basically connects the existing historic building, the gas station historic building, the parking lot, and it will connect up to, I'm pointing that way, it's actually this way.
Yeah.
Connect up to the spur, where the
Awesome.
spur to the Swamp Rabbit Trail is. So you'll be hearing a lot more about that here soon, but we've reached out to, we got responses from 3 different firms. We've reached out to who we've chosen as the number 1 firm, so we're waiting to hear back from them on a contract to do the master planning work. So that will basically be, and the best case scenario, the grand vision is it will be a skate park, but it will be more than a skate park. It'll be what they're calling a wheels park. So it's everything from biking to skating to inline skates or skateboarding. Basically, if it has wheels, you'll be able to utilize it at this park, and it'll be for all different skill levels. It'll be for all ages. And it could
Any
be
support services there or retail services available for that?
nothing planned at this point, but that could be a possibility because it does have good connection to the next property
So the
along
reason
the
I
way.
say that is my son is a very happy man with this news. But he's reached out to Tony Hawk's Corporation.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And they will get involved, but there has to be some element that supports materials and supplies and retail and that kind of thing.
Okay.
For them to be involved, so,
And that could be fleshed out during the master planning process, certainly.
so we'll keep that in mind. I
Yeah.
think he's talked to Brantley about that.
Okay, great. Okay, and then just real quick, the recommendations progress. The first one, continue the replacement programs for police and fire equipment. That's continuously in progress. The police and fire on an annual basis are updating, ensuring their equipment is up to date and good to go. Number 2, continue to implement the sewer rehab projects as necessary. As I mentioned, that's in progress. The city recently turned over the sewer system to Metro Connects. Number 3, adequately review and provide analysis of the costs of annexing additional lands, fully align the city's growth goals with its annexation policy, including plans to annex unincorporated enclaves. And this is continuously in progress. Every potential annexation request we look to see if it aligns with the city's goals. So that's something that we definitely keep front of mind for all annexation requests. Number 4, initiate and/or expand programs to decrease crime and fire incident rates. Again, this is ongoing. The police and fire, I think, do a wonderful job to ensure that crime rates and fire incidence rates are as low as they can be. The next one, develop a building maintenance program to ensure that funding is available to renovate facilities as they age. This is, again, in progress. The city has a capital projects plan that looks out typically over a 5-year horizon to see what the cost would be to improve or to maintain the facilities that we currently have. And then as facilities are added, they are added into the long-range capital projects plan. The next one is consider the policy principles of the master plan when making future development and redevelopment decisions. And again, in progress, the city considers many options, including the comprehensive plan, when making future development decisions. So every decision that comes across my desk, I back check with not only this comprehensive plan, but any other plans that we have on the books or are considering. The next one is coordinate with the county on the development and implementation of plans for parks and recreational facilities. As I mentioned earlier, the city works with the county to assume maintenance, or is working with the city to assume maintenance responsibilities for multiple parks, Gateway, and then the remainder of Trailblazer Park. And then we for the portion of the Trailblazer Park that we maintain, we've made obviously improvements to that since 2018. The next one is continue to construct more bicycle and walking trails. As I mentioned earlier, almost 5,000 feet of multi-use trails have been built in the city since 2018, with plans for another 12,250 over the next 12 months, and there'll be hopefully more after that as well. But those are the sort of the shovel-ready projects. That the 12,000 is the two that comprises the 2 shovel-ready projects. That being the YMCA spur. As well as North Poinsett. And then the last 2, proactively upgrade the infrastructure in areas targeted for development and redevelopment. That's really has to deal with sewer, so that goes back to our metro discussions. And then promote sustainability as a guiding principle for all community facilities. I think just as you can see with the buildings the building we're currently sitting in and all of our facilities, we definitely keep a sustainability bent as our guiding principle for those buildings. And that concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Is part of the footage that you put on that for trails, when you said that the North Poinsett corridor, part of that land streetscape, is that part of that trails intertwined in that?
It is. So we have the North Poinsett project will have one side of the road be to the same spec as the Swamp Rabbit Trail. So it'll be a multi-use path for one
Right.
side of the road. The other side of the road will have a sidewalk. So I think it's a 5 or 6 foot wide sidewalk, depending on where you're at.
And that's just on North Poinsett from, I was going to say, is it from 25 to W. Willis right there at Center Street in South Poinsett?
It'll be from Mustang to where North Poinsett and South Poinsett meet Center. That's phase 1. Phase
Right,
2 will
yep.
be the South Poinsett corridor from the Center Street intersection
Right.
down to Main Street.
So the trail will go up South Poinsett, not Center Street?
Correct. We're in the process. We'll be, as part of the Poinsett project, we'll be repaving Center Street, and we'll include a bike lane on that as well, because
Gotcha.
we'll be able to pave it. We don't have quite the same right-of-way that we have on the rest of the road, so we will only be able to do a bike lane, a painted bike lane on that road.
Gotcha. Super.
I think the app for the city, I've gotten really good feedback just hearing from people appreciating that.
Yep.
I just did a glance back. Could we ask Beth to put the QR code up for the survey? I don't see that it's been on there. The city's link is on there, but just for the comprehensive plan survey?
Yes,
I
absolutely.
think that would be a great place. Then we could all just make it a point to go there and share that.
Yeah, we can do that, certainly. Yeah, on the Cryon, the thing, the scroll, yep, we certainly
I think
can.
that'd be a great thing to be able just to get that word out more.
Sure.
When you talked about the county,
Yes, so the city owns and maintains the eastern half of Trailblazer Park. That includes the pavilion and the amphitheater and this property. The other side is county maintained right now, but as part of the discussion, at some point, the county would like to turn that over to the city along with Gateway Park.
Does that include the property where the municipal court is at?
I believe so. I believe so. That's a good question. I don't know if that'll be sort of cut out, because I don't think we would be interested in maintaining, but I don't know for certain. I
So
don't
in
know.
those discussions of maintaining, I think one of the fortunate things of having Greenville County Recreation as a partner was not having to have staff that plan youth association activities
Correct.
and that calendar and all of that. So
They would still do that.
they would, awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole new department.
Correct.
we have to
we
get
don't
in that
have,
business.
it's my
And I
understanding,
think
we
we've
don't have the
always
staff to do
been
that.
really happy for that not to have to be something that we've been responsible for, so.
I believe the discussion at this point is that
They would still
that they would
maintain it.
continue to.
Program and do all
program,
that
that's
for
right.
for that part.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm glad to see the movie schedule come out for August.
I think Beth picked those movies out. I think she's excited for them.
I am too.
Mike's favorites.
So, any other questions for Mr. Foreman? And I wasn't here last month, so we may have been introduced, but I don't know the young lady behind
Yes,
you.
this is Haley Hopkins. She is our research fellow from the Shy Institute at Furman.
Perfect.
She's been with us
welcome.
now
That's
for 8
wonderful.
weeks. This is your 8th week? Yes, so
Awesome.
we only got her for 2 more weeks, but
Yeah,
she's
Back to
been a
school.
huge resource
summer
for
has
us.
is flying by.
Yes, it is. It is.
Thank you for your time. Any other questions? Thank you, ladies, for joining us. Yes, ma'am? Can I ask a question? You may.
Yes, ma'am. So the question was the red lighted Poinsett and Tubbs, that will be part of the project, the North Poinsett project. We're, fingers crossed, we would have this done by early spring of next year. Of 24. Yes, ma'am.
You made it this far, you can make it the next spring.
Well, I can remember meeting there with Vern Smith and Harry Cato and talking about the challenges of getting that done and that it might not ever happen. So I'm really excited that,
It's
I live
possible.
on Tubbs Mountain, so I'm really excited about that too. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I know, I always tell my children that you never make a left turn there, you go up to Hart, if you have to make a left turn, you go up and you take Hart Street when they were learning to drive, so. All right, if there's no other questions, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Thank y'all so much.
That was quick. Well, until next time.
Next time. Go pick up Miss Ella at the Fitches.
You've become a regular old grandmother, haven't you?
I have.
You are.